Hey guys, I'm the 50s kid. This is a 2001 Nissan Altima, and today we're going to change the alternator on it. So let's get started. So first off, I'm going to test the battery voltage, and it's actually at 12.6, which is perfect. It's a fully charged battery. It's because I've charged this battery. When it came to me, it was reading 11.8. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to start the engine and test the voltage coming out of the alternator. So to test the alternator, we're going to uncover the positive terminal right here. You want to touch the stud that's coming out of the alternator, not the bolt down here, but the stud. Just make sure, make sure you're touching what's actually coming out of the alternator. That's what the windings are soldered to, is that stud. And then I'm going to touch the negative terminal on the battery. And you can see it's 12.1, which means that alternator is not working at all. The engine's consuming battery voltage. The alternator is not generating any, so we need to change the alternator. So step one is always disconnecting the negative battery terminal. So let's disconnect the positive terminal here. It's a number 12. And again, if you hadn't disconnected the battery and you just let this touch right there, you short circuit your battery. Sparks, bad, all that stuff. Now this doesn't really need to be disconnected, but if I can, I will. You know what? Screw it. It's all gooey. Let's see. This one just disconnects here. Just a little clip. Just press in the side like that, right there. So down under here is a 10. That's what this wire is connected to. It's just, I believe it's a negative. So looks like whatever this is, it's a sensor that's connected down to, I think that's the air conditioning compressor. So this is just going to hang out. I'll probably tuck it right there. The way it's just out of the way. Well, I've got the 10 out. This right here is a 10. So there are 3 bolts that hold the alternator in. There's one on the top. It's a 12. It's right here where my finger's touching. Kind of not easy to get a shot of it, but we just need to... We're going to loosen that first. Looks like it already was just a little loose. Right here, this is the adjuster. And actually, I'm going to loosen it. That's so that we can get the alternator loose, so we can get the belt off. Actually, we're going to need to crack the bottom bolt down here. And you got to feel down on the alternator. It's just down here at the bottom. I believe it's a 14. Get that one loose. And now you got the alternator loose up there. I'm just going to slip the belt off. And just leave it right there. No need to take it off. So let's finish up getting that bolt out. That's one of the bottom bolts. I think that's already loose. It's just the weight of the alternator lying on it. All right, we're gonna get that off last. Let's come over here to the other side. There's another 14 on the bottom. Okay, there's the 14 on the bottom there. 14 on the front, it's longer. Now all we've got is the 12 up here, which I can just get out by hand. Now we can just pull our alternator on out. Yeah, to make it a little easier for me to get out, what am I going to do? I think I just muscle it. I just don't want to damage the radiator hose here. So I was trying to avoid taking off these 2 brackets here, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to. I want to get this thing off without any trouble. I don't want to damage the hose here, and I don't want to take the hose off. So just go ahead and take the bracket off. Brackets. This top one, there's a, I think this is a 15. This is a 12. Actually, we got to use a 10 to get that off. 12 there. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 15. No, that's actually a 14. So there's the top bracket. And then this one's just held in with these 2 bolts right here. This one's going to be difficult to get at, this bottom one. That's why I was trying to avoid taking it out. These are 12 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. Alright, geez. So it looks like I'm going to have to take the engine mount out just to get that bracket off, which is just stupid. This is just one of the many ways that Nissan is just stupid. I'm going to try to only take off this this back bolt here. See if that gives me enough room. Nope, no such luck. Put a jack underneath the engine and lift it up a little. So now we just got to get off this bolt here. It's also 14. I believe there's just a nut in the back, so okay, nut. Big bolt. Just grab this out of here. So I picked up a used one from the junkyard earlier. There's a little sleeve here, which I believe I'll have to knock out. That was just this little sleeve here. You can see how it's protruding now. Before it was protruding inward, so I just knocked it down with a hammer. There we go. I'm just going to get these bolts started a couple of turns just so they hold everything in place. Make sure we get this engine mount back in. We want to do that before we put that top bracket in because it's going to cover those 3 holes. Now we can get this bracket back in. There we go. Let's put the belt back on. So I've already set the tension here and tightened that top nut back down. Go ahead and tighten this. This is actually the proper fastener for it, which I took off of the car in the junkyard. All right, reconnect battery. And let's give it a test. It looks like we're putting out 14 volts, which is what we want. All right, well, that's another unnecessarily complicated repair on this stupid Nissan. If you can't tell, I really hate this Nissan. I kind of hate all Nissans. I found that they're all this annoying to work on. But anyway, ultimately the repair was successful, so thanks again for watching.